There we go. And let me turn my desktop audio back on. It is on. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to play some nighttime lo-fi. Whoa, that's loud. That's loud. And we're going to get back to what I was doing before the research meeting. Let me log off of the double. It's charging up. Okay, thanks for joining. I will be back, and we're going to jump back into trying to build HotGem in Python 3. I was actually in the middle of a Python debugging session dealing with a question on the forum from Freeman about these anomaly params. So I'm sort of partially through trying to figure out what's up with this, and but I haven't figured it out yet. So I might just kind of put this on pause. I hate putting things on pause. Or maybe I'll just finish it out and try and figure out how to do this. I'm hoping within 1 minute, where it says Numenta research meeting up here on the top of the screen will change, I hope. And because it should change to something different. Yeah, it should say let's build something with HTML. Any moment now. I think it just, let me make sure, because I've been using this tool to switch the topic of the Twitch feed, and sometimes it doesn't do the right thing. Matt from Numenta is live streaming his work. Let's just leave it simple. This is fine. We don't need behind the scenes. That's fine. Okay. Software, robotics, design. It's good enough. It's good enough. Okay, so I was trying to figure out why the model params. Let's see if we can finish this up. I feel like we're close to figuring out what's wrong with this. Why are the model parameters bad that we're getting right here? This is where I was at, and I was about to. I was jumping into the. Let's go to the call stack. The OPF, and I think that I'm getting too far into it. I don't think I want to jump into the OPF, and that's what I was getting into model run, and that's not really what I want to do. The problem has got to be some type of bad model configuration for NuPick, for the OPF model that we're using to create the model. Because when we run it and we get a result back, we're not getting predictions back. Let's run several times over and over, and let's see what happens if we just run without a breakpoint. Oh yeah, we're still trying to pull multi-step. Hello, Ducky Daniel. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm actually stuck in Python 2 right now, not Python 3, but I'm eventually going to be Python 3. I'm trying to debug an issue in Python 2. Let's get close all the stuff that I'm not using. And right here, this isn't working, so I'm just going to copy it out, and we're just going to watch the counter accumulate. Hopefully we'll at least get that. We're not going to get predictions out, but we're going to say at least it's processing. So it's running, but it's not getting predictions out. I wonder if I can add a debug statement. It does, it stops. Okay, so I can look into the result now after it's had a chance and just make sure it's still got no anomaly score. Okay, it's got a prediction number, but it's not returning anything. It's not returning any inferences. Okay, so there's got to be something wrong with the model parameters that we're using to create it. So let's look into NuPick again, because I know that there are example model parameters in a Python file. Find model params.py. I know there's a ton of these. Yeah, anomaly, so I want a prediction model. So this is the one that's returned by a swarm. Let's do this one. Let's look at this. model params. Okay, get rid of this. So here's the example that we're using. Encoders, consumption, this doesn't really matter. I don't think the problem is with the encoders. Hi Jose, I am, so I'm a community manager for an open source project that deals with machine intelligence, and one of our forum members is having a problem getting anomaly parameters, or creating a model that makes temporal anomalies, makes predictions of temporal, well, it gives you anomaly indications of how anomalous a temporal stream of data is. And he's having a problem with it, and I'm trying to debug the problem so that I can answer him on the forum. And so it boils down to model parameters, which is like the configuration that you that you use to create a model, and the model being a collection essentially of like simulations of neurons, like populations of neurons. And we've got a population of neurons that runs a process called spatial pooling, and another called temporal memory sort of on top of it. And this is the basic core of what HTM is. HTM is hierarchical temporal memory. So I'm looking specifically into these parameters. So input width is 0. So that's what I said last time. We should expect that input width. So let's go back to right before we create the model and looking at the parameters. Where do we create the model? Create the model. Here it is, create model. Okay, right here, I'm gonna pause. This is where we wanna look and see what the model params look like. So here we have the params, model config, let's close this, and model parameters. Jose, thanks for following. I'll do JavaScript and Python on this channel, but it's all going to be somewhat related to hierarchical temporal memory. For more about that, here is a link. And also got a lot of good videos on our YouTube channel, HTM School. If you want to, actually, maybe this is a better link if you want the whole series of videos on HTM and how it works. Okay, so let's compare now the model params that I found. Ooh, darn it. Okay, that's not what I want. That's not what I want either. I have too many things open. Here's the model params that I found. All right, I was going through all these before. Anomaly params, that's not what I want. I want to look at, I've been through several of these. Inference type, temporal multi-step. Let's make sure that we have the right inference type here. Temporal emp. Hey Falco, thanks for joining. I've been going a long time already today. Yeah, it's temporal multi-step. Let me make sure I don't have a typo in here. Inference type, temporal multi-step, model params, model config, model params, inference type, temporal multi-step. Okay, just making sure. Sensor params, I think, are not the problem. Something else is the problem. Yeah, I do not think sensor parameters are the problem. TM enable true, SP params, boost strength. The only thing I was worried about was input strength, or input width, and that shouldn't be a problem. Number of active columns, 40, that's right. That's boost strength. This has 3, that shouldn't affect predictions, I should still be getting predictions out of it. So why am I not getting predictions? Okay, let's look at the TM parameters. Activation threshold, cells per column, 32. Input width is the number of columns, number of mini columns. New synapse count 20. New synapse count 20. None of this stuff. Train SPNet only if requested false. That's probably an artifact from some older day. Pam length we don't even use anymore. classifier parameters. Maybe, okay, it could be in the classifier parameters that we're having a problem. CL params, let's look at that. Okay, we've got a region name, SDR classifier region. Steps 1, 5, but we're only doing 1. We didn't specify 5, so that should be okay. The alpha is different, but it's still controls how fast the classifier. That shouldn't be a problem. Train SPNet only if requested. False. I'm still having an issue figuring out why we're having a problem here. He's absolutely right. There's no predictions coming out. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into NewPick. We're gonna go into examples. OPF, client, hotgem, simple. Okay, so there should be something here I can just run. Python, hotgem, and it's just gonna run it. I wanna make sure this works. Okay, so it's working. So, let's look at this. This is our hotgem. Let's inspect the, this is like the simplest HTM you can make right now. Is this the simplest, like, this should be doing predictions, I'm pretty sure, if our model params is right. It's prediction model, temporal multi-step. So this is where you should start. Okay, let's inspect the result right here, because we should be able to get into this result. Where do I put the breakpoint? There it is. We should be able to go into this result. Let's run the file. And, oh, no module named NewPick. Oh yeah. I'm in Python 3. I'm gonna switch to Python 2, and then we're gonna rerun. Select the interpreter that I told you to, please. Okay, we're still something wrong. I think I can't rerun it. I think I have to start it over with the right interpreter. Here we go. So let's look at our result now and see if we've got some predictions, because we should. And if we do, inferences, we do. Okay, so Freeman, if you're watching, I'm gonna point you right here. This script works. I don't know what's wrong with the other script, but this script works. There's some difference between the model. It must be the model parameters. So I don't know what the issue is, but I'm totally gonna point you to a different example. Like the simplest hotgem prediction example is in, like I said, examples. I don't remember where it was now. Sorry, too many windows. I had one. I'll find it. It's under OPF, clients, hotgem, simple. Right here, it's hotgem. Try this script, okay? Okay, Freeman. Sorry about this. Razvan, I just spent some time on this and I cannot figure out what is wrong. I took your code and ended up having the same problems. Hey, you're there! So maybe I don't have to, well, I'll point you to this. I'm going to point you to, I'm like dictating this to you while I'm typing, to this really simple hotgem example that does seem to work for me. Okay, so here's the deal. Since you just got here, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. I took your code. I took your whole script, your whole run script, and and I simplified it down, and I am having the same issues that you're having. When I get here and I try to pull a prediction out of the multi-step best predictions, there's nothing there. So I had the same issue. I've compared the model parameters right here that we get, because this is what I suppose, once you get these params, you've got to change the model configs, model params inference type to temporal multi-step to make it a multi-step model. But that doesn't seem to help. That doesn't seem to help. And so the data also, I'm using the rec center data, and I just put C0, C1 up here, just so it'll, because that's what the get parameters thing does. Those are the canned columns names that it creates. Hey, you're welcome, Mark. I thought you had already been gifted a subscription before, so sorry it took so long. So that's where I'm at. But so here's what I did. I was like having sanity problems, and so I went and found like the canonical simplest hot gym example, which is just this really small script. You can make it smaller by taking all the metrics out, and it works. So, but it's loading the parameters from a canned file. It's not using that function. But so there's some difference in this, and like we should be able to. Let's see if we can do this while we're here. Let's go into your run and let's grab this function. And in the other one, let's try and use it instead of using these, right? Let's, because maybe I can replicate this. So here's what. Yeah. So in create model, where we're getting these model params, basically. Do you know of any usage of that function anywhere? Maybe. Yeah, there's definitely. We use it in Menta apps. Menta apps. And I mean, we should be able to put that function in here. I know I've got it in this repository. There it is. So here's where we use it, and this is in like don't ask me what these are. I haven't messed with this stuff in a very long time. In HTM Engine though, we're using it, which runs like the HTM for stocks, and HTM Studio also uses this, because Unicorn is HTM Studio. So there's another place. In the param finder, this is the place I would probably look. Oh, come on. I have to do this again. There it is. It just told me it was in here, and then never mind. This is where I would look anyway. But let's see if when we create this model, right, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm not gonna send it the data, I'm just gonna send it a min and a max. I'm not gonna do the data thing. I should be able to just send it a min and a max, I hope. So here, not here, in this other create model, I'll say params equals get whatever, and what does this want? It'll take min val, max val. So I'll just send it a min and a max. I think this should work. So min val 0, max val, I don't know, 100. I'm just gonna put something in there. And that's, I think that's all I need to give it. And then I don't need to give it a resolution. So that will give me back some params, and then I can say params, like we did in the other one. Params, model config, model params, I think. Here. Let's see what happens with this now. So let's run this hot gem. So we get type error, takes at least one argument. Oh, you have to give it something. So I'm just gonna give it, but it ignores it. It'll ignore it if it has a min value and max value as far as I can tell. Okay, what happened? Did it work? Where am I? Simple? Yeah. Python, hotgem. Wait a minute. Something's weird. This is my hotgem. I want to run it. Run the Python file. Where's? Oh, it went down here. I missed it. There we go. Okay. Model factory key error model. So the config I'm giving it isn't right. What am I giving it then? Let's stop right here. Run it again. Yes. Okay. I have to create a new configuration, right? Add a configuration. Python file. Okay. So now I can run it. Okay, params, model config, model params. So what am I doing here? Params, model config, model params. And that's not what it wants. What is this terminal error here? Yeah, you see, yeah, with the 0 thing, yeah. Oh, this is something. That was something silly. Okay, so I've got my params. And why doesn't this work again? Let's go. That worked. No, it's still. So here. Hotgem 64. Key error. So it's looking for something called model in here. So I'm obviously I'm not sending it the right thing. So whatever is sending into this, it should have a model on it. So let's see, what is the thing with the model? Is it model config? Yeah, so I think I'm just sending it too deep or something. I think I have to do it again. Okay, hey, so we got somewhere. Let's see what the result looks like. Oh, so we gotta change the C, right? The C and the, so this is gonna be C0. Oh no, that was C1. This is going to be C1. This is going to be C0. C0. Okay, go. Another key error. So another C problem. Let's see. Model input. Oh, right. The zip headers, the headers are coming from the file. So I'm gonna actually make headers equal C1, C, or C2. I'm just gonna fake this, okay? Because I just want it to work. I just want to proof that, I just want to, okay, there's another consumption. All right, this is gonna be C1. Go again. There is no encoder for this set of predicted field consumptions. There's more consumption. Some consumption. Field consumption. That's C1. Okay. Let's try again. We're almost there, I hope. There's no encoder for the field consumption. Where else is consumption? Consumption. Oh. Everywhere. Okay. Let's just replace it with C1. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. All of them, okay. One more time with feeling. It's working. Okay, so let's inspect the result object and make sure that it has what we want. Run it again. Let's look at the result. Please have inferences. Please have multi-step. It doesn't. It doesn't have. Okay, so there's so Freeman. Here's what I can tell you. What I thought that you could easily take the model parameters returned to you by that function and make a modification to them so that it would add the predictions to it, but it obviously doesn't. It doesn't add the predictions to it. I don't know why not. What I would suggest you do is start with some model parameters that are not coming from that function, I guess. I don't know what the answer is yet. I'm still very confused. But there's definitely something wrong with that function. And it's not returning you something that you can get predictions out of. Now, that being said, I wouldn't call it a bug because that function was not designed to give you a model that returns predictions. It was designed to give you a model that returns anomaly indications. So my suggestion would be to follow this example, this simple hot gem example, and use model parameters starting from there, and then see how that works, and then tweak them. Because it's honest, I think it's better to have a set of model parameters that you set to the side and you know what the values are, and then you change them over time. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to mark